Tree is Nice by Janice May Udry. Trees are very nice. They fill up the sky. They go beside the rivers and down the valleys. They live up on hills. Trees make the woods. They make everything beautiful. Even if you have just one tree, it is nice too. A tree is nice because it has leaves. The leaves whisper in the breeze all summer long. In the fall, the leaves come down and we play in them. We walk in the leaves and roll in the leaves. We build playhouses out of the leaves. Then we pile them up with our rakes and have a bonfire. A tree is nice because it has a trunk and limbs. We can climb the tree and see over all the yards. We can sit on a limb and think about things, or play pirate ship up in the tree. If it is an apple tree, we can climb it to pick the apples. Cats get away from dogs by going up the tree. Birds build nests in trees and live there. Sticks come off the trees too. We draw in the sand with the sticks. A tree is nice because it makes shade. The cows lie down in the shade when it is hot. People have picnics there too, and the baby takes his nap in his buggy in the shade. A tree is nice for a house to be near. The tree shades the house and keeps it cool. The tree holds off the wind and keeps the wind from blowing the roof off the house sometimes. A tree is nice to plant. You dig the biggest hole you can and put the little tree in. Then you pour in lots of water and then the dirt. You hang the shovel back in the garage. Every day for years and years you watch the little tree grow. You say to people, "I planted that tree." They wish they had one, so they go home and plant a tree too. Everything is Somewhere by Vasiliou. Everything is somewhere. A fish is in the water, and a shell is on the beach. A boat sails on the sea, and birds fly in the sky. The sky is a big place with many other things, like the stars and smoke, the clouds, a balloon, rainbows and kites, the sun and the moon. They are all up there, and little boys and girls are here. Everything is somewhere. Tick-tock is in the clock, and the clock is on the wall. Love is in the heart, and a thought is in the head. A sock is on the foot, and the foot is in a shoe. Candles are on birthday cakes. A shadow sleeps under a tree. A web is where a spider is, and a snowman, as we know, is only where there's snow. A baby bird up in a tree hides in a nest we hardly see, and underground are roots and holes and little rooms for mice and moles. A crab is snug under a stone where he lives alone. At Christmas time, presents will be hidden in stockings and under the tree. Something is always somewhere, even if we do not know it's there. But when I have to pick up things like toys or strings or teddy bears and put them into bed at night, they seem to hide away. They are not here, they are not there. Nothing is anywhere. But then I find them all somewhere, and that is where they always were. Even if we do not know just where, everything is somewhere. Sometimes a pony is nowhere. He is not in the field, he is not in the stable. He seems to be lost and cannot be found. He is not around, but he is somewhere. In a circus, perhaps, or a merry-go-round, or with tinkle bells in front of a cart. He may not be here, but he must be there. Everything is somewhere. A flower blooms here, a flower blooms there. A flower always blooms somewhere. A butterfly is here and there. Only God is everywhere. Plink, Plink by Ethel and Leonard Kessler. The goldfish swim in a little bowl. A big whale swims in the sea, while little ducks swim in a tiny pond, And who else swims? Me, me, me! A little tugboat goes up the river. A big ship sails on the sea. Rowboats float on a little lake, and I sail too. Look, see! Water washes the elephant, water cleans the street. Water washes my little dog Spot, and water cleans my feet. Plants need water in order to grow, so does a big green tree. Flowers need showers to grow straight and tall. And who else needs water? Me, 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 and me too. So plink, plink goes the water in my sink. This book has made me thirsty. I think I'll have a drink. Plink, plink.
Sun Up by Alvin Tresselt. Early in the morning, before the sun rose, when the first bird sang, even while everyone was still asleep, the rooster flapped his wings and crowed cock-a-doodle-doo. Another day was beginning. Slowly, the sky in the east grew light, waiting for the sun to appear. One by one, the stars faded out, till only the morning star glowed in the brightening sky. Then suddenly the sun was up, and the purple night shadows slipped away to sleep in dark corners. The sun spied on a tiny field mouse as she scurried about looking for breakfast. The sun sparkled on the dewdrops hanging in a spider's web. The sun shone on a farmer as he went to the barn to milk his cows. And the sun peeked in the window at a little boy asleep in bed. Wake up! The sun climbed higher in the sky and made the day grow hotter. Now the morning mists were gone, and tall sunflowers creaked on their thick stalks to face the sun. The farmer squinted his eyes at the bright sun in the high blue sky. Today will be a scorcher, he said, and drove his wagon load of hay into the sweet-smelling darkness of the barn. The little boy felt the heat of the sun on his back as he walked through the meadow with his dog. He heard the crickets chirp and rasp in the tall, fragrant grass. And a single catbird scolded at him from a blackberry patch. Now the day was very hot, and everything hid from the burning sun. Lazy cows lay in the shade of a sycamore tree. They chewed their cud and flicked flies with their ropey tails. The chickens scratched and clucked in the shadow of the barn, out of the heat of the sun. The little boy went into the woods to fish, but even the sunfish hid in the cool blackness at the bottom of the pond. Only the farmer was about, tossing forkfuls of hay onto the wagon. But the sun shone on in the cloudless blue sky, and nobody could remember when there had been such a hot day. Then, suddenly, everywhere and at the same time, everything was still. The crickets stopped chirping. The catbird ended his song and cocked his head. The cows swallowed their cud and rolled their eyes. The farmer leaned against the wagon, mopping his head with a large red handkerchief. And the little boy ran out of the woods to look at the sky. A low rumble rolled over the sky, and everyone heard it at once, and the muttering thunder rolled over the sky. Even the sun seemed to hear it, and a haze covered its face. Slowly at first, then faster and faster, black clouds boiled up to hide the sun, and blue lightning flashed through the clouds. A hot wind stirred the dust in the road, and the trees turned pale as the wind twisted back their leaves. Where was the sun? The little boy climbed up on the wagon, and the farmer led them quickly to the barn before the rain came. The wind blew harder, and the trees tossed. On rolled the thunder, and ripe drops of rain came plopping down. The chickens squawked and scurried for shelter in the barn. The cows huddled together close to the sycamore tree. And the dog hid away under the hay wagon. The little boy stood beside his father and watched the rain beat down on the muddy ground. He saw the lightning jump across the sky. He felt the mighty thunder shake the barn. He could smell the wet freshness of the summer rain. And now the wind was still. The thunder rolled farther and farther away over the stormy sky. The rain stopped, and the sun shone once more through torn pieces of clouds. Birds sang gaily in the coolness after the rain, and a delicate rainbow arched across the sky. The clouds turned pink and scarlet as the sun sank down in the west. In the clear, washed blue of the sky hung the new moon, with a single bright star sparkling beside it. The farmer got ready to milk his cows again. The little boy called his dog and went in to wash for supper. All the purple night shadows woke up and stole quietly out of the corners, and the rooster settled himself on his perch and went to sleep. When I Go to the Moon by Claudia Lewis. When I go to the moon, I'll let the scientists explore the craters. What I want to see is the Earth. I want to look back, no, not back, but up, at that great lighted ball, this world that will float there among the old stars like a newly created moon. Imagine the size of it. 4 times larger than the moon we know, and 80 times more bright, lighting the moonscape with white earth light. A giant globe up in the sky, slowly turning as a globe turns, with North and South America and Africa there before my eye. Why, the whole thing will seem like a mistake. Imagine the colors. I'll see them if I look through telescopes and filters. Deserts, dusty red, green fields, and dark green patches that are forest trees. The North Pole, white with ice, and flash, the sunlight striking on the seas. The Earth will look like a giant, unimaginable Christmas tree ornament. Actually, there's only one sea up on that globe. All the oceans are one, none bounded by any dike or wall. All the homes of fish leaping and splashing, fish that could easily swim from one to the other. Earth, they call it. Why not ocean? It's clear to me there's not as much land up there as sea. I'll sit on a moon mountain and look at the shores of Maine and the Oregon shores. I'll know that children are there, wading and playing on the long sandy beaches, each child thinking he has come to the edge of the earth. I'll wonder how it can be that there are people in Maine who have never seen the people of Oregon, only inches to travel. And can it be that some Australians stay on their little island all of their lives? I'll watch the world turning, watch the night fall, part of the earth still burning bright, while my continent up there moves slowly around to the dark side, away from the sun's light. I'll know that 1,000,000 eyes are turned to look then at the moon where I am, old moon in the earth's skies, queen of the heavens. I'll know the eyes are watching. Back and forth we'll stare across the cosmic miles, the electric seas of space where rockets are in flight. Oh, you up there, I'll say, I see you. I know you're there. I know how you are walking out under the streetlights. I know the children are lying in their beds watching the moon through the windows. Do you know I'm thinking of you? Good night, Earth, I'll say. Then I'll lie down in my spaceman's bed. The night will be as still as stone. But I'll know that while I sleep, the moon is circling round and gently pulling at Earth's seas. The tides are moving on the shores at home. The Earth is near. Good night, I'll say. All's well here. Is all well there?